G'day, Starlo here. Today I'm spinning for trout in this lovely river in northeastern Victoria. And I've got two very similar Shimano outfits here, but one of them is spooled up with ultrafine braid, and I'm going to attach a fluorocarbon leader to the end of it, probably a 4-pound leader. The other one is spooled up with 3-pound monofilament fluorocarbon line all the way through. I'm going to try them both and see which one comes out better for this style of fishing. Come along and check it out. I'm going to start with the outfit that's spooled with the skinny fluorocarbon. By the way, both nylon and fluorocarbon are monofilament lines, or monos. In other words, they consist of a single strand. They just have slightly different performance characteristics. I'm working my way up this nice looking pool, casting a small inline spinner, and so far the skinny mono's performing very nicely and casting well. It's also neat to be able to simply tie a spinner to the end of it without needing a leader. One knot and I'm fishing. Nice. Surely there's got to be a trout up in this deeper slot towards the head of the pool. It looks great, especially in the current break behind that rock. Oh yes, oh that's not a bad fish either. Oh, he whacked that. That was so much fun. Oh, no, he's not as big as I thought. He's a little rainbow. Well, there you go. They weren't in the back of the pool, so I worked my way slowly up towards the head of the pool, and sure enough, there was a lovely little rainbow lurking up there. And he's come out and whacked that little spinning blade lure as it's come twirling down in the current. What a gorgeous fish. It's still got paw marks, which are these sort of thumbprint type marks along the side of the fish. They're normally regarded as indicating that it hasn't spawned yet, so it's still a juvenile rainbow trout, hasn't spawned for the first time. And I'm going to carefully unhook it and pop it back in there. It's going to come out fairly easily. There we go. Lure's out. Oh, and he's away. Good release. I keep pushing on upstream, throwing the spinner on the fluorocarbon setup, and it's not too long before I get my first bit of a casting fluff up. I definitely seem to get more of these tangles with mono than braid, and as soon as you get the slightest loose loop, you really need to clear it. But otherwise, I'm quite enjoying using the fluorocarbon. Let's see if we can find another trout, hopefully something a little bit bigger. Keep probing up ahead here. A little bit of weed again. It's more like flood debris than weed. It's leaves and bits of stick that have been washed into the stream. Quite shallow up through here, so I'm not letting the lure sink at all when it hits the water. I'm starting the retrieve straight away. This is one of the reasons I like cranking my reel with the non-dominant hand. This is exactly the sort of scenario where that really pays off, where if you're a right-handed person, winding your reel with your left hand actually makes a lot of sense, because you don't have to swap the outfit from one hand to another at the end of the cast. See, I can close the bail arm while the lure's still in the air and be retrieving straight away, and I get a lot less snags as a result. Oh, a fish chased that. I saw the little bow wave come down. As I continue working my way upstream, the river's constantly changing in nature, presenting new challenges and opportunities. The tail of this pool, which is the bottom end of it, is reasonably shallow, but that doesn't mean there won't be fish here. In fact, I just saw one. Only a small fish, but let's see if we can interest him in the lure. Ooh, he chased it. Now he's taken off. I think he saw me. So you need to just move very slowly and carefully. You don't want to be spooking fish out of the tail of the pool and pushing them up further like I just did with that one, because it's going to spook the other fish. I can see that it's a little bit deeper down this left hand. Oh, oh, that's a snag, down this left-hand side where the blackberries are trailing into the water. So I'm going to try and fish along there. I'm snagged, and what will often happen is if you just move quietly up to where your lure is, you can often get it off. I might even be able to twang it off. Nope. It's not ideal to be walking up through this nice run here, because this is where I'm kind of expecting some fish to be hiding. Well, not hiding, but sitting, waiting for a feed. There we go, I've got my lure off. So now I'll just probe up in front again. The water's moving a little bit quicker than it looks, so I have to retrieve fairly quickly to give the lure action, to make the blade actually spin. In slower water I could slow down. The trout are quite quick, surprisingly quick. If they want something, it doesn't usually get away. And that little lure looks all right. Well, so far the fluorocarbon's going quite well. Oh, I don't know if that was a strike or a rock. That's the only thing with fluorocarbon. You don't have quite the feel that you do with braid. I would have known if that was a rock or a fish if I was using braid, I reckon. Just got a snag down here. I don't really want to put my hand in that water because it's pretty cold. Okay. I've got a little bit of weed on the lure. It's important just to clean that off.
You never quite know what's going to be around the next bend, but the one thing you can be sure of is the beauty of these high country waters, and seeing the odd trout rise certainly adds to the anticipation. It's only a matter of time.
Got him! Ah, tiny! What a tiny trout, little rainbow. It's always a good idea just to wet your hand before you touch them, because they're coming out of very cold water, so your hands actually feel quite hot to them. He's just picked it up in the gill plate there. Give him a little wash. Look at that.
One thing about small waters is that they always hold lots of small fish. That's simply a fact of life.
Got him. He's a little fella. Beautiful little rainbow. Just coming down that fast run, bringing the lure faster than the current, so the blade's spinning. Settle down, man. Turn them upside down, they usually keep pretty still. And I'll get him in downstream from where I'm fishing so he doesn't spook the other ones. Put him in this rapid down here. Off we go. Don't think we'll get another one up here, but it's worth another cast. Very rare, in my experience, to get another one on the same stretch. I think the one getting hooked and the vibes that it gives off must alert the others to something going on. Got him. Oh, nice fish too, for that little bit of water. There he goes, back into the water. Woo! And he's away. Don't think we'll get another one in here. He would have been the boss of that pool.
While the fluorocarbon monofilament line is fishing well, I'm also experiencing reasonably regular loose loops and small casting tangles. These just seem to be par for the course with this stuff. 9 times out of 10, if you're careful and take your time, you can unpick the tangle without having to cut the line and re-rig. Once you do, it's important to wind the slack line back onto the spool under pressure by squeezing it between your fingertips, exactly as I'm doing here. All good, but it is getting a bit annoying. Continuing upstream, I make the decision to give the other outfit with the thin braid and 4-pound leader a run, and while I'm at it, to switch from my spinner to a little timber minnow. And almost immediately in this lovely pool, the switch pays off.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice fish. Come on, stay on. Oh. Wow, he whacked that as soon as it hit the water. Ah, it's a brownie too. First brown for the day. Ah, what a lovely fish. Check out the markings on him. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Perfect little wild brown trout, and there's so many places around the southern part of the country where you can do this sort of thing with just a light spin rod and a backpack and some lures. I'll get him back in the water. He's big enough to keep and eat, but I'm not going to. Up you go, mate.
So far I've had a pretty good success rate, but it doesn't pay to get too cocky. What's the old saying about pride going before a fall?
Oh, big fish. Don't tell me I broke him off. I did. Oh, what?
Yep, snapped the 4-pound leader on the strike. That hurts. Nothing for it but to re-rig and push on. Having the right equipment and being self-contained and mobile is important for this style of fishing. You'll cover quite a bit of river in a full day and encounter a wide range of challenges.
It's pretty slippery. I found some deeper water this afternoon, so I've had to give the old thigh boots the flick and go to the full length fly and dry waders. I'm glad I did too, because I've been in some fairly deep spots.
As I move into some deeper and steeper gorge country, the speed of the current increases. It's important to never underestimate the serious power of cold, fast-moving water travelling over slippery rocks. A bad fall in here resulting in a sprain or a broken bone wouldn't be a good thing. But there's definitely trout up here, and I get a big follow and a swirl on this cast, but no take. The terrain's becoming quite challenging, and so are the fish, even when you see them first.
Oh, there's one right there, just rose.
Watch this lovely rainbow chase my little minnow down the pool.
Oh, he's after it, he's after it. Come on, eat it. Oh, nice rainbow. Followed it right down. Lovely fish.
How exciting is that?
Just let him get back up a little bit. Try a bit more speed. No, he didn't even come after it that time. Wow. Oh, I thought he was going to eat that. Surely.
How good does this water look? There has to be a fish in here, and I've swapped back to the spinner again for longer casts.
Oh yes, that's a good fish. Oh, big jump. It's nice when it comes together on a bigger one. Had to be one up in this pool, not just those little ones that I've been getting from the back of the pool. Quite a reasonable rainbow. They're experts at throwing the lure, so I won't be at all surprised if he gets away, but it doesn't really matter. Where are you going, mate? Get out from under those rocks. Come and let's have a look at you. Slide him up onto that mossy rock there. What a pretty fish.
They're not all rainbows in this gorge either.
Oh, nice brownie. Look at the colours on that. Gone to a slightly bigger inline spinner in the hope of catching a bigger fish. Hasn't worked yet, but it's caught me that beautiful, beautiful brown trout. Gosh, that thing has got amazing colours. No par marks, fully adult fish, wild spawned in this river. Off you go, mate. Hopefully there might be another couple up here.
I've changed lures again too. I've picked a larger, heavier inline spinner, and it's allowing me to really probe these long, deep runs and pools. I just know there'll be a trout in here, and sure enough, I'm on again.
This is a nice fish. He had me in, nearly had me in that timber. Oh, he's still trying. They're such good fun. I haven't bothered bringing a net or anything with me because it's so overgrown in here. You've got to climb through the bush, so I'm going to just try and pick him up. It's a nice rainbow. Actually, I've got a little beach here on my right. I might just beach him on there. What a lovely fish. It's not done yet. There we go. Probably close to a pound on the old scale rainbow, about 400 grams. It's a good 32 or 33 centimetres long. Not a big fish by any stretch of the imagination, but a good fish on this light tackle out of these waters. And this is what it's all about. Spinning for trout with light gear in these little waterways. I just love it. He smacked that spinner. He's got all 3 points in there. I think I might keep this guy for dinner. Don't mind a fresh trout. So the best thing to do is to dispatch the fish straight away. Just pick up a handy rock. 2 hits, you'll see the quivers and the shakes. Another one for good luck. And I'm going to stow that fish in my backpack. Very good.
It's been a really interesting day stacking up the fluorocarbon next to the ultrafine gel spun. And I gotta say, I really prefer the braid. Okay, I busted a fish off on it because I probably went a little bit too hard on the real light leader and I didn't have any stretch or give. And I've also probably pulled the hooks on a few more fish than I might have, but I didn't get the tangles that I did with the fluorocarbon. I felt like I had much better contact with the lure. I knew the difference between hitting a rock and getting a bump from a fish. I was able to set the hooks better. I reckon I was even casting a little bit further with it than that 3-pound fluorocarbon. So all in all, I think I'll stick to the braid for my trout spinning. Maybe lengthen up my leaders a little bit and possibly use a slightly lighter drag setting and a softer rod. But you know, all in all, I reckon it's hard to beat the braid. Fluorocarbon definitely has its place, but in this trout spinning in the streams, I like the skinny braid. There you go. Until next time, this is Starlo wishing you tight lines.